I have a confession to make. Hi besties, what's up? My name is Meg. Welcome back to my channel. So I read a lot of books. Fantasy, thriller, romance, horror, you name it, I will be reading it. I've read books that have emotionally destroyed me. Books that have literally made me question my sanity. And books that have left me staring at a wall, trying to process what I just experienced. But every once in a while, I come across a book where I read the synopsis and I immediately think, absolutely not. Not because it's scary, not because it's long, not because it's badly rated. Oh, no. Because the plot is absolutely and utterly unhinged. People always say, well, don't judge a book by its cover. However, but nobody has ever said, don't judge a book by the fact that it's a minotaur milking farm, blue alien soulmates on an ice planet, or a prince who spends a suspiciously long amount of time as a horse. And honestly, I think that's a pretty important exception. Today, we are diving into 3 of the most unhinged books that I have ever come across. Now, to be fair, I have no idea if these books are actually bad. For all I know, they could be masterpieces. They obviously all have devoted fan bases. People love them. And maybe there's honestly something kind of incredible hidden underneath all of the chaos. The problem for me is that their premises are so wildly absurd that my brain short circuits every time I try to take them seriously. So today we're gonna read the synopsises, attempt to understand what possessed somebody to even write these stories, and figure out whether or not these books are scarily genius or whether we have collectively gone too far as a society. And just to make things interesting, I have ranked them from surprisingly reasonable to who approved of this. So let's get into it. Starting off with the most surprisingly reasonable, we have Behooved. So I'm going to read the synopsis from my laptop. You ready? Let's get into it. So Behooved is by M. Stevenson. Bianca knows her duty comes before her heart. So when the threat of war looms, she agrees to marry the neighboring kingdom's heir. But not all royal weddings are a fairy tale. And Prince Arik, Bianca's betrothed, is cold, aloof, and seems to hate her on sight. To make matters worse, on their wedding night, an assassination attempt goes awry, leaving Arik magically transformed into a horse. Bianca does what any bride in this situation would do. She mounts her new husband and rides away to safety. Sunset returns Arik to human form, but they soon discover the assassination attempt is part of a larger plot against the throne. Worse, Bianca has been framed for Arik's murder, and she's now saddled with a husband who is a horse by day and a frustratingly attractive man by night. As an unexpected romance begins galloping away with their hearts, Bianca and Arik must rely on each other to unravel the curse and save the throne. Alright, so my thoughts on this is that this already kind of feels like the Shrek movies 1 and 2. It's not loudly unhinged, it's quiet unhinged, which I think somehow is worse. This is the literary equivalency of someone saying something so absurdly insane with full-on eye contact. No blinking. None whatsoever. No blinks. We're not in chaos territory yet. We're in the why is everyone acting like this is a standard procedure territory. This isn't full chaos, just to be clear. It's controlled chaos that's pretending to have it all together. All right, next bless you. All right, moving into the territory of this is getting questionable, we next up have the book Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. So let's get into this one, shall we? Let's see what this one has in store. You'd think being abducted by aliens would be the worst thing that could happen to me, and you'd be wrong. because now the aliens are having ship trouble and they've left their cargo of human woman, including me, on an ice planet. We're not equipped for life in this desolate winter wasteland. Since I'm the unofficial leader, I head out into the snow to look for help. I find help all right. A big blue-horned alien introduces himself in a rather startling way. Vectel says I'm his mate, his chosen female, and for that reason his chest is purring. His chest is purring is because of my presence. He'll help me and my people survive, but this poses a new problem. If Vectel helps us survive, I'm not sure he's going to want to let me go. My thoughts about this book doesn't ask you to suspend disbelief. It removes it entirely and dares you to keep up. At some point during the synopsis, I stopped asking questions because I realized that unless I read this book, it's never really going to answer them for me. Now, trying to process this book is we've got survival romance. Okay? We've got survival romance. Then we also have alien mating dynamics. Huh? And emotional bonding? Question mark. All happening on an ice planet like it's Tuesday. All right, so it starts with an abduction, and the story goes, but what if this was romantic? It's extremely aware of what it is doing and refuses to be embarrassed by it. It fully commits, just full sends it. There is no hesitation, no apology, just full speed alien romance momentum. This book is chaos, but it's chaos with perfect self-confidence. And that might be the scariest part of it all. All right, lastly in this spectrum, we have who approved this. And this book is Morning Glory Milking Farm by C.M. Nascosta? I'm already like... Okay, you ready? Let's get right into it, shall we? Violet is a typical down-on-her-luck millennial. Mid-20s, overeducated, and drowning in debt, on the verge of moving into her parents' basement. When a lifeline appears in the form of a very unconventional job in neighboring Cambric Creek, she has no choice but to grab it with both hands. Morning Glory Farm offers full-time hours, full benefits, and generous pay with no experience needed. There's only one catch. The clientele is a grade A certified prime beef with a manly, meaty endowments to match. Hands-on work with minotaurs isn't something Violet ever considered as a career option, but she's determined to turn the opportunity into a reversal of fortune. When a stern, deep-voiced client begins to specially request her for his sessions at the farm, maintaining her professionalism and keeping him out of her dreams is easier said than done. Violet is resolved to making a dent in her student loans and a Ford name brand orange juice and a one-sided crush on an out-of-her-league minotaur. It is not part of her plan, unless her feelings aren't so one-sided after all. All right, so I just need everybody to realize that this is a workplace romance. And I'm using that term very, very loosely. This is set in a world where this is just a job, a normal tax-paying job. We are no longer in fantasy romance territory. We are in a fantasy HR violation territory. At no point does this story stop to ask, should this exist? It just keeps going. This is not unhinged. This is systematically unhinged. I feel like we're at a point where the premise has been normalized so hard that I feel like I'm the only one overreacting here. This is not unhinged because of what it is, but because of how calmly it expects me to accept it. There is no shock factor left. Just pure, structured chaos presented like a 9-to-5 job listing. At this point, I'm not judging the book. But you know what I am questioning? Yeah, I'm questioning the entire economy that this world operates in. Okay, y'all. So I need to recover from what just happened. So after reading through all of those 3 clear synopsises, I think we've established a clear pattern. I don't actually have a problem with romance. I don't have a problem with fantasy. I don't even have a problem with weird premises. What I do have a problem with, though, is whatever kind of category this storytelling, where the world building says, yes, this is normal, and keeps going. Because I can suspend disbelief for magic systems. I can suspend disbelief for dragons, cursed princes, morally gray love interests, etc., and everything beyond. But there is a very specific line where my brain goes, no, absolutely not. We are not doing this today. We are not emotionally committing to this. We are not normalizing this. I will simply just be leaving the room. Plain and simple. I'm gone. And I think that's what these books are for me. Not bad books. Not even books I'm judging. Just books that hit a very specific personal limit where I know, without a doubt, I would spend the entire time reading going, why am I like this for reading this right now? And I don't want that feeling. I don't want the cringe. I don't want the secondhand embarrassment. I don't want to be 10 chapters in, deep negotiating with myself on why I even started the book in the first place. So yeah, I'm out. 1, 2, 3 strikes out for me. No, thank you. If you love these books, I genuinely respect you. And I mean that truly, because clearly you have a level of courage and commitment that I do not possess. But for me, these are firmly in the I will never read this, but I will absolutely think about it more than I should category. And honestly, I think that might be the most dangerous book type there is. If you read these and think I'm completely wrong, feel free to tell me. I will be over here recovering. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you did enjoy. Do all of the YouTube things you know how to do, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in a bit. Bye!